Welcome to another episode of Quick Hits with Ben Treadway. Today I'm joined by Becky Hale, the SVP of Marketing and IT Program Management at Highlands Residential Mortgage. How's it going today, Becky?
Going great, Ben. Glad to be here.
Thanks for jumping on and just taking a couple minutes. You and I, we've kind of been rubbing shoulders for a couple months now, and I've been following you and what you do on social media. And I think you have a lot of great insights, especially around technology, as we're kind of heading to this AI and different things that are going on. I like some of the posts. You just had one recently about ChatGPT, and
Oh yeah.
it's a crazy world right now that we live in. A lot
Yeah.
of things are out there to help, and maybe hinder at the same time.
Yes.
Creativity is I don't know. We'll see what happens in a couple of years with like your own creativity and imagination. Might
Yeah.
switch.
Yeah. No, it's exciting. It can be both exciting and terrifying at the same time. But I'm just a naturally curious person. So of course, when generative AI comes around, we were already looking at like machine learning and RPA for like system improvement, right?
Yeah.
But generative AI, now that's fun.
Yeah, that's like one of those things where you're like, okay, are we heading towards Terminator? Like, what's going on here? You never know. You
I
never know.
hope not, man, but I
I
tell
hope
you
not.
what, this is a pro tip for anybody. I am always nice to the AI. So, like, I say please and I say thank you because when our robot overlords take over, they're going to remember that I was nice.
That's funny because I always compliment, right?
Yes,
I'm like, hey,
that's a great idea.
can you help with
Hmm.
give me an idea for a video that I should post about social media? And then it
Yeah,
gives me an idea and I go, thank you, this is great, you're
yeah,
awesome. Give me
yeah,
another idea. And so I was like,
yeah,
that's smart, you know.
yeah.
Compliment the AI because they'll know. They'll know. All right, let's jump into it because I do
Sure.
want to chat a little bit, just kind of about social media presence and what loan officers can do, right? Because you work with
Hmm.
officers specifically. So for a loan officer who's trying to kind of establish their social presence, maybe start to build a stronger audience or their own personal brand, kind of what best practices
Hmm.
are you helping them to create a compelling personal brand, something that will really reach with the people?
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a really great question, especially right now, because if people don't have a personal brand defined, now is exactly the time when you should be defining that and growing it, right? Because it does take time. The first thing that I always talk about is taking ownership of it. A lot of loan officers want to set and forget everything, and I totally get it, being efficient and all that great stuff. I love automation, but your brand can't be set on autopilot. It just can't be, right? Like you have to own that. Number two, you actually have to define it. A lot of people don't really know what they're about. So are you the loan officer who rocks investment deals? Are you the loan officer who knows the local market better than anybody else? Or are you the one who's the rock? Somebody people can call, they know they're going to get a good answer, and they know that you're going to get them solutions. Pick your niche and stick with it, right? Like that's a big deal. Number three, you have to know how to communicate it clearly. This is where I think a lot of people struggle because how you package what you're about and what you believe in can be, a little bit of a struggle, but there are tools and people who can help with that. So we'll just throw that out there. And then lastly, being consistent. I think this is where people drop the ball the most, is that they want people to know who they are, but they're not willing to put in the work to go in and daily remind them of it. Whether it's just a quick hit or whatever, you have to engage. I mean, the whole idea behind social media is that it's social, right?
Mhm.
And it needs to be authentic because people want to work with real people. So if you're in there and you're posting and they know that it's you and it's not just a machine, that's going to resonate more with your audience and actually help you grow your audience and not have people click the unfollow button.
Yeah, I think consistency, we talk a lot about consistency,
Hmm.
right? And it doesn't mean you won't run into a content slump. Um, I
Oh, yeah.
I posted about it right before Thanksgiving. I
Yeah.
was in this content slump. I didn't know what to post. I was like
Yeah.
ran through all my ideas. I think AI can help with that
Yeah.
significantly. But on top of that, it's okay if you're in a content.
Hmm.
What you don't want to do is stop posting for
Yeah.
weeks on end. If you
Yeah.
take a week break, that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. It's not going to hurt you too bad if you're like, oh, I missed Wednesday.
Sure.
Right. But if you're like, I missed Wednesday and then I missed a month, it's like, oh yeah, it hurts, right?
Yeah.
I think what you said though about personal brand is interesting
Hmm.
because when I talk to loan officers, and I'm sure you hear this too, and I say, what's your personal brand? Why should someone come work with you? I'm always available and I have 20 years of experience. I'm like, is that even a personal brand? I don't know. You tell me, Becky. What would you consider a personal brand?
First of all, I think a lot of loan officers also think that if they have a logo, that's their personal brand, and it's not. That is literally just a supporting element for like the whole ecosystem. But to me, a personal brand is the first thing that I think of when a loan officer's name pops up. It's not about what that loan officer thinks of themselves, it's what I think of them. So, like this guy over here, he's an investment loan wizard. That's who I would go to if I had an investment loan. That lady, she knows the North Carolina market better than anybody. I'm talking to her. There's a new construction king over here, and I've got a new build. It's a one-time close probably, so I probably need to talk to him. Or I have a first-time home buyer and they're scared and they don't think they have enough money for a down payment. I'm going to call this lady because she's patient. She's a great teacher and she gets nothing but rave reviews from people who are, at the first part of their home buying journey. To me, that's a brand. And they establish that by being consistent in doing great work and all those things, but also talking knowledgeably about them on social media. So, like the investment guy, here are some pro tips you need to know. The North Carolina ladies go into like bars and happy hours and like open houses and stuff, and she's making herself present. To me, those things are what constitute a personal brand, especially around loan officers.
Yeah, I think whenever I ask them, hey, what's your personal brand? And they tell me, oh, yeah, I just, I've been in the industry for 25 years. I'm
Yeah,
like, great.
nobody cares.
So is everyone else. So is everyone else. Oh, you're always available. So is everyone else.
Yeah,
You have great products. Your rates are good. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
And so what I try to take it a step further and say, why do people come back to work with you?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have repeat customers? And it's not because you had great, you may had really good communication, but you learned a little bit more about them.
Mm-hmm.
You're their family and you connected on that level. And then you know everything about their financials. So you probably connected on work and then maybe
Right.
hobbies. And because they were trying to buy a home, you were there to help them through that. But you then created even deeper relationships. And that's why people come back. And if you can lean on that, that becomes
Mm-hmm.
that personal brand as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've kind of met each other and been on LinkedIn and connected and I
Mm-hmm.
see your content and you're one to be, and we talked about AI, you're fairly tech forward
Mm-hmm.
with what you do. Give me your thoughts about like automation and software just to help, not just on social media, but loan officers' marketing capabilities across the board.
Yeah, yeah. So, I think this kind of goes back to taking ownership of your personal brand and your marketing strategy. In retail mortgage, especially, we hire loan officers because they have a book of business or because they have, a brand, right? Like we want them to operate under our corporate brand, obviously, but really at the end of the day, it's about the loan officer and the story that they tell. So I want people to do things that are going to be targeted, right? And not just I feel like I have to put all of my leads on this one campaign because of XYZ. It really has to be audience specific. So that involves work, right? You have to be able to get into your CRM and segment your database. Now, that doesn't mean that your company can't help you with that. A lot of us have CRMs that are built to do just that. We can create dynamic groups. We can help you with campaign development, even in some cases, custom campaigns. I'm a big fan of pushing my loan officers onto video, even if it's awkward. People want to see you. So I'm a big fan of that. Also, a lot of loan officers are not taking advantage of CRMs as a CRM. They'll use it as an automated marketing tool, which is great, but they're not staying on top of their contacts. They're not deduping, right? Like they're not going in and like making notes. And that stuff is powerful because the relationships are what really drive those deals, especially as the market starts to go like this. right? People want to know that you remembered their kid graduated cum laude from some college, right? Like, I mean, that kind of stuff is important because you were listening and you were paying attention. Um, Taking advantage of the tools, but like I said, doing it in a way that makes sense for your audience. Yes, take advantage of those campaigns, but think about, am I targeting a new set of realtors? If so, what do they care about? Right? Do I need to come up with, here's how I solved this problem, right? Here's how I solved this problem. Again, you can collaborate with your internal marketing teams. Most of us are very happy to help you with that. And then of course leveraging corporate assets, but like a seasoning, right? It's like salt and pepper. You don't want to overdo it because people will unfollow you if all you post are corporate posts. And I know my boss will probably get mad at me for saying that, but honestly, at the end of the day, they are coming to Highlands, right? Because we have an established reputation, but they're coming to you as a loan officer. So they want to see the whole picture, and that whole picture involves you being personal in some of your posts. That doesn't mean share all your personal details, but set up the automated pieces in the systems that are provided, but then go in and pepper it with stories of things that you're doing in the neighborhood, things you're doing with the community. Um, I'm gonna have to put in a plug for generative AI, obviously, because I think leaning into that, especially now, is really, really important for loan officers because, and not just for the, hey, give me a social media schedule and all the post content that I need. I think that it's a useful foundational tool, but it's not where you're going to get the most out of generative AI as an LO. I would challenge people to use it, whether it's Bing Chat or Chat GPT, whatever. Develop user stories, get a better idea of the audience that you want to talk to, what they actually care about. I talk to AI like it's a person, right? Like it's a marketing consultant. And I'm like, hey, this is where I'm at. What would you recommend? And then I ask more questions and more questions. You know, it really takes you on a brainstorming journey, which is really kind of exciting. And then once you finally get some content that looks good, I will tell you this, don't copy and paste it. It's a foundation, right? You can use it as inspiration. In some case, maybe 85% of it's good, but it has to sound like you. People should know your voice, and we can spot an inauthentic post from a mile away. Like if I get another email that says, I hope this email finds you well, it's the same thing with social. Like I can see all your cute little emojis. Did you really think about putting that in there? I don't think so, Joe. You know, and not your Joe,
Not
sorry.
Joe.
I'm not calling, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, authenticity is, mind you, it's getting smarter every day, so it may not be as easy to spot over time, but it's important. People want to work with real people, and I think that you have to take the time to, yes, this is a good framework. How do I make it mine? How do I make sure people know it's me?
You know what? A really great way to do that is through video. Yeah,
Mm,
it's awkward,
yeah.
but I don't think AI, and it eventually will, but I don't think it's gotten to the point where it can match everything that I'm doing.
Mm-mm.
My voice, my inflections, my hand
Yeah.
gestures, my face. And so people, if you're nervous about being inauthentic, just get
Right.
on the video
Yeah.
because no one can recreate that.
Yeah.
Right? You can do everything that ChatGPT says, and instead of just grabbing it and posting it as a written post,
Hmm.
just read it, right? Because here's the thing that I have found. I don't read scripts well,
Yeah.
right? I read the script and then I say, okay, but I think I would say it differently, or would add words here and there. And so I can take something that AI has given me and
Right.
I can make it very authentic,
Hmm.
just the way I say things and
Yeah.
the way I talk, right? And
Yeah.
so if you are wanting to use AI and you're wanting to go through and have a really successful social presence and a really great marketing, do it on video because
Yeah.
no one can copy what you're doing on video.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
makes it so much easier and it takes so much less time. It takes
Yeah.
30 seconds to record a video. It takes
Yeah.
hours to like write a blog,
Yeah.
So you can do it on video so quickly and it is exactly who you are. Very
Yep.
authentic.
Yep. I wholeheartedly agree.
Becky, I really appreciate you taking the time
Yeah.
to jump on here with me, to talk a little bit about branding and marketing and everything that you know so well. Love what you're doing, and I love what you guys are doing at Highlands.
Thanks.
So thanks again for taking the time, and we'll catch you next time.
All right. Thanks, Ben. Talk to you later.